Alien's thousand-yard stare, the result of witnessing human pre-battle rituals. Zarvek of the Trinax Dominion had seen many wars. He had witnessed the desolation of moons, the evaporation of oceans, and the screams of dying stars. As a decorated field observer of the Galactic Tribunal, he was sent to document and analyze the behaviors of all species involved in interstellar conflicts. But nothing prepared him for humans. The Galactic Tribunal had warned him. Their methods are primitive, unpredictable, emotionally volatile, said the High Curator, but efficient. You are to observe their pre-battle process before the Skarn offensive. Zarvek, with his crystalline skin and neural-synced eye lenses, had nodded once. He had documented war chants of the Dresner, the blood rituals of the C8 Tari, even the silent suicides of the Nuthkai priest before combat. He thought he'd seen it all. But humans, they were different. He arrived on the carrier HSS Ironheart, a steel behemoth floating just beyond the edge of the Skarn Nebula. The war with the Skarn was reaching a critical moment. A final assault was being prepared. Zarvek's mission was simple: observe the pre-battle human rituals and report back to the tribunal. He was greeted by Captain Leona Briggs, tall, scarred, and grinning far too much for someone hours away from war. "You the alien shrink?" she asked, lighting a cigar. "I am a cultural observer," Zarvek corrected, voice vibrating with mechanical precision. "Good. You will want to see this," she said. "Humans are weird as hell before a fight." The first ritual began in the mess hall. Dozens of soldiers gathered around tables, devouring what they called the last meal. Not a religious offering, not a tribute, just meat, greasy, oversalted, heart-clogging meat. Some even called it junk food. One soldier poured glowing cheese over a slab of deep-fried bread and declared, "If I die, I'm taking my arteries with me." Zarvek blinked. "Is this a psychological boost?" Briggs laughed. "No, it's comfort. Helps us not think about what comes next." Zarvek noted it down. Phase 1, culinary recklessness. Purpose, emotional distraction. The second ritual was even stranger. A group of soldiers gathered in a dim room. Loud, erratic music pounded through speakers. The humans began leaping, twisting, shouting, bodies slamming into one another with violent glee. "What is this?" Zarvek asked. "Pre-battle playlist," Briggs explained. "Some like to get hyped with adrenaline. It's called mushing. They attack each other. Nah, it's consensual chaos. Helps bleed the fear out." He noted it down. Phase 2, controlled madness. Purpose, fear dissipation through ritualized aggression. Later, he was brought to the armory. Soldiers stood in front of mirrors, painting their faces, not with tribal marks or camouflage, but with symbols from films, cartoons, ancient tow sports teams. One wore a clown face. Another painted her cheeks with the name of her childhood dog. Someone had written your MOM on his chest armor in fluorescent ink. "This is battle personalization," Briggs said. "Makes death feel personal. Memorable. Is this to intimidate the enemy?" "Nah, it's for us. So if we die ourselves." Zarvek felt the first stirrings of something foreign in his neural clusters. Phase 3, ritualized identity assertion. Purpose, reclaiming control in the face of chaos. Then came the chant. In the ship's cargo bay, 200 soldiers stood in formation. One soldier stepped forward and began yelling, loud, obscene, and funny. The crowd howled with laughter. Then another soldier screamed back. Soon, the entire unit was hurling jokes, insults, and absurd one-liners into the void. Laughter and rage intertwined. "Why?" Zarvek asked, now visibly unsettled. Briggs only shrugged. "We joke before we die. Keeps the panic from winning." But none of this is sacred. None of this is structured. There is no prayer, no hymn. Exactly, she said. We don't need gods before war. We need each other. Finally, just before deployment, the humans did the most confusing thing of all. They hugged. Everywhere he looked, huge, armor-clad soldiers were embracing. Some cried quietly. Others whispered. Some fist-bumped with ridiculous sound effects. One soldier proposed to another with a soda cap ring. She said yes. You love before you kill, Zarvek whispered. Briggs, for once, didn't joke. We remember why we fight, who we are. That's how humans survive war. Not by erasing ourselves, but by feeling everything harder. Zarvek watched them board the dropships, laughing, shouting, some crying, some singing. No two the same. No formation. No unison. Just raw chaos. But it was beautiful. The Skan offensive lasted 16 hours. Half the battalion died. The rest returned, blooded, broken, but alive. Zarvek stood at the hangar, watching the surviving humans stagger off the ships. They looked exhausted, haunted, and yet one soldier winked at him and said, "Still got that pre-battle playlist stuck in my head." Another joked, "Tell your alien friends, humans much better than they fight." Zarvek could only nod. His mind, a lattice of trillions of structured synapses, was silent. For the first time in over a century, he felt confused, disoriented, changed. He returned to the Galactic Tribunal 6 days later. His report, normally thousands of words, was a single page. He had written, "The humans do not prepare for war by purging emotion. They embrace it. They laugh, cry, eat, love, and rage. Their chaos is not a flaw. It is a shield. Their madness is method. Their fear is fuel. I witnessed a ritual that made no sense and yet explained everything." He ended it with one line. "They scared me, not because of what they destroy, but because of what they refuse to lose." Zarvek remained distant after that, quiet, reflective. The other observers called it the 1,000-yard stare, a human term he had unknowingly adopted. It meant a gaze into something too vast to process, something eternal. He never returned to Earth, but on silent nights, when the void outside his ship blinked with starlight, he would whisper old human jokes to himself and smile